In fact, let's do a bit more Vim. Okay. You stole my mind and my heart too. Have they known each other outside of this pod? I do not get good vibes from that guy. Guys, I love them so much. You're on Love is Blind. So even if she was bigger than you expected, you are on Love is Blind. I do not know how long this review is going to be, but I hope you're bearing with. And welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who showed me so much love on my first impressions video. Like, guys, thank you for reminding me to get on my Zoom, because I actually did enjoy the first 2 episodes of Love is Blind. Ooh, I can't believe I wasn't going to jump on my Zoom and do these reviews. I'm shocked, guys. So thanks for reminding me. But honestly, thank you guys so much also for the love and for the support. You guys know I am a professional chatterbox, okay? But you guys encourage me to talk and I really do appreciate that. So in today's video, we're going to do episode 1 and 2. I'm going to leave the timestamps below because I feel like this is going to be quite long, and you guys know there's a lot for us to catch up on. So we're going to do 1 and 2 today, possibly 3 to 6 tomorrow if I can after work, 7, 8, 9 on Thursday, 10 and 11 on Friday, and then yeah, I think then I'll be all caught up by the end of this week, and I think that makes the most sense. So please be sure to click the timestamp so that you know that you are watching the review that you want to watch for the episode. But enough of me speaking. As I usually always say, number 1, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number 3, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Today I have bubble tea, which is almost finished, and I hope it lasts me for this review. But that's what I have today. And let's get into today's review. But before we get started, guys, I've got one question for you. Is love blind? Because I definitely think that love can see. Okay, so let us start off with Emma Willis and Matt Willis. Guys, I've never even because I haven't met Emma Willis either, but it was nice to see them together. I think she's a great host for the show, and of course we were told that the pods are now open. So let's start off with Freddie, guys. Freddie is so cute. I'm sorry, he is so cute. I know I did already say in my first impressions video that the fact that he's a funeral director is a bit scary. Okay, but guys, he is so cute. Like, honestly, that is good soup for white chocolate. He's just so cute. And if you work as a funeral director, you would expect the person to be maybe a bit, but he's just so cute. Like, wow, that's a good man, Savannah. Okay, that is a good man. So of course, let's start off with Freddie and Catherine having a conversation. They were the first couple that we were introduced to in the pods. So she's a dental nurse, and guys, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't know how I feel about Freddie and Catherine, and this is episode 1, by the way. I want to make it very clear. This is episode 1. I don't know. Catherine, for me, maybe she's just not giving me the vibes. I'll be honest with you. Catherine is not giving me the vibes, and especially with the whole Ollie situation and Demi and stuff, I was just giving this girl major side eye. But of course, you guys know they were having a conversation. They were speaking about the fact that they love going to the gym twice a day, which is greedy, because why are people going to the gym twice a day? Why is one day not enough? Of course, they were also bonding over the fact that Freddie actually has a brother who has Down syndrome, and also the Catherine also teaches kids to, I think she said kids to swim, and she teaches kids with Down, I think it's kids with Down syndrome to swim. I believe it is so. So that's actually really cute. And one thing I will say before I actually do jump on is the fact that I need to rate the producers for this show and those who were a part of casting. I don't know, maybe because we've been used to like Love is Blind and maybe 19-year-olds, 20, like, I really enjoyed watching an adult cast. I can't explain. I don't know if you get the vibe that I'm trying to say, but I really, really, really enjoyed watching an adult cast for Love is Blind. So moving on to Catherine now. So next, Catherine and I went into the pods to speak to Ollie. Now, I can't lie to you. Ollie's voice, I mean, Love is Blind when it comes to Ollie, because he be sounding good, okay? But I actually picked up on it as well that, yes, he actually did remind me of Craig David. We were speaking about marriage and about their lives, and she said, of course, she wants to be able to marry someone that she has fun with, and someone that, you know, marriage isn't boring and they can get on and have a really good time. Now, I do feel like at first bat, and we're going to get into it later on anyway, especially in our episode 2 review, which is going to be in like a couple minutes, I do feel like Ollie and Kat, their connection just off the bat was straight lust. Like, even just seeing the comparisons of Catherine's conversation with Freddie and then Catherine's conversations with Ollie, for me, it was quite interesting to see the difference anyway. Now let's move on to Ollie now having a chin wag with Demi, who I absolutely love, and I really wish that she spoke of herself more highly. I'm not sure how the rest of the season goes, because you guys know I'm literally only 2 episodes in, but she makes herself seem like she's like really big and she's really plus size and she's really, and nothing is wrong with that, by the way. You guys know beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, honey. But I feel like not that she's not confident, because guys, I like Demi, okay? She's breaking the stereotypes when it comes to girlies like in sports as well. Chef's kiss to you, babe. But yeah, I want her to speak about herself more highly, because she is a really lovely person inside and out. Anyway, they were having a conversation and they had a really good vibe. I feel like they were bouncing off each other. Of course, they're both Londoners, and Londoners naturally, you get on, do you know what I mean? Especially when you're from South London, you usually do get on with other South Londoners as well. But I do really like Ollie and Demi together, and just from that interaction, I preferred Ollie and Demi over Ollie and Catherine. Now, moving on to Ollie now talking to Charlie about Catherine giving him sexual vibes, but Demi giving him cool vibes. That was after his interactions with both of them in the pod. And yeah, when he said it, I just said, yeah, it's giving that vibe as well. Like, I know Demi was saying in her first, I think it was in her, not my first impressions, but in her first impressions, where she was doing her video introductions to who she is, you know, she was like, well, she usually gets friend zoned by people and everything like that. And I understand. I think I understand. Why am I stuttering? I feel like I understand why, because she definitely is a very friendly person and she gets on really well with the guys, clearly. But I think her and Ollie are definitely a really good match, and I like them together. Now let's move on to Sabrina. Guys, I absolutely love Sabrina, and I love Sabrina and Steven. Why was I smiling at my screen? Am I in the pod with them? Someone needs to ask me, and I need to answer that question. But honestly, Sabrina and Steven, they had their first conversation, and of course they were speaking about, you know, her grandma passing away, God rest her soul, and how, you know, coming back to an empty house after the funeral and everything, she just felt like it would have been really nice for someone to have just been there and share that experience with her, and just, you know, someone to come home to. I think Steven and Sabrina, I love them. Like, the second they both enter the pods, I just said, I see this working. I don't know how episode 3 to 9 is. I'm going to catch up anyway. But honestly, from now, episode 1 and 2, I absolutely do love them together. Now, next moving on to Sam. And you know what's so funny, guys? So in my first impressions video, Sam, when I actually spoke about Sam, my camera cut. And I don't understand why. You guys know, is it a review if my camera doesn't cut? I do not know. But what's so funny is someone commented, did the camera cut at Sam? The camera cutting at Sam, sorry, was that a sign? Guys, Sam, it's a no from me. I am so sorry. Like, and I'm a good judge of character, I'll be honest. I feel like I like to say that I am, but Sam for me is an absolute no. Like, Sam, I'm Sam from London. Don't forget, Sam from London. Sam from, I just thought, anyway, we're now introduced to Sam again. Do you know what as well that I wrote down? And I don't want this to come across as being bad, but Sam reminds me of Phineas. Do you guys watch Phineas and Ferb? Or did you used to watch Phineas and Ferb? Sam reminds me of Phineas, and I don't understand why. The second I saw him, I just said, he looks like Phineas. I do not know why that came into my mind, but Sam actually reminds me of Phineas. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about him. I'm sorry. I think he comes across as being very cocky, and I know there is a very thin line between cockiness and confidence, but something about that guy is off. Like, he just seems, and then when I watched episode 2, and I was just thinking, you know, I'll get into it anyway, but yeah, I'll get into it before I start jumping the gun. Moving on to Sam and Jasmine. So he pretty much said that he feels like, appearance wise, he really feels like the girl that he wants. No, appearance wise, he feels like girls that see him feel like, you know, he's the type of guy who's like an F-boy and a one-night stand and da-da-da-da-da. And like I said, he's very confident. I hear that, I see that, I feel that. But it does come across as being quite cocky and also being quite superficial. And I just don't know if Sam is really in the pods for the right reasons. I know he says that he does want to find love and he sometimes feels like something is wrong with him, but something's funny about that guy, okay? Moving on next to Sam and Nicole having a conversation. I will say one thing. Nicole definitely looks better in video / in the actual episodes than in her pictures, because when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she cute, you know what I'm saying, like, she cute. Nicole was saying that she feels like Sam is saying a lot of the right things and it's making her a bit afraid, especially as you guys know that Nicole has been married before. Once again, Sam from London, as he made it very clear, was just speaking about his experiences and why he's in a pod and everything like that. I'll be honest with you, I do not see the connection between Sam and Nicole. I don't know what Nicole's seeing. I also don't know what Sam's seeing. But I don't see the connection. Am I the only one? And I'm going to get into it. I know I keep jumping, but when episode 2 came as well, and then the whole Benaya situation, I just thought, wait, what exactly is going on? So I personally don't see Nicole and Sam being a thing. So it's very interesting that the pods actually pair them up together. But anyway, love is blind, so what do we know? Now let's move on to Nicole and Benaya. He said that he is technically homeless, which actually made me laugh. So Benaya is definitely a free spirit. You can definitely see that. He loves to tour the world. He loves to travel. Up today, one day he's in Hungary, the next day he's in Germany, the next day he's in France, the next day he might be in Jamaica. I do not know. But Nicole was obviously speaking about the fact that, you know, in comparison to her, there is quite a big contrast, because she does work a 9 to 5, and he, of course, is just a free spirit who just explores the world, and he goes up and down and everything and above. At the end of the day, you're on Love is Blind. Someone who is going to marry you needs to be willing to work with your schedule, and right now it looks like you don't really have a schedule. Okay, so what exactly is going on? But I feel like naturally there's a good energy between Benaya and Nicole, and I prefer Benaya and Nicole to Nicole and Sam. I don't see Nicole and Sam being a thing. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree, but for me, I just don't. I don't know why. I don't really feel the vibe. You know what I mean? I'm not really getting the vibe. Now, let's move on to Steve and Sabrina the next day. Of course, having a conversation. Steve was like, you know, you were the first person that I thought about when I woke up in the morning. And of course, they were speaking about their jewelry. So one thing I do love about them, the producers really ate with pairing them together. One thing I do love about them is because, you know, Steve was there wearing a ring that he got from his granddad, who passed away when I think he was 8 years old, if I remember correctly. And, you know, she was speaking about how she wears jewelry from her late grandma as well. So definitely a emotional connection there as well in regards to experiences that they have dealt with growing up and are currently going through as well. Of course, the next question was about marriage and also about children. Now, instantly, the second Stephen mentioned it, I was just like, yeah, Sabrina's facial expressions is telling me all that I need to know. So of course, he ended up asking her, you know, what about kids? And she just said, I'll be honest with you, like, I think the foundation of a marriage is very important between a husband and wife. And, you know, if I don't have kids, I won't be mad. And I was just thinking, okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but, you know, I'm not saying I'm in two minds regarding this, but I do feel like sometimes women are forced to see their worth in being, I'm getting deep for no reason, wow. But I do sometimes feel like women are forced to see their worth within marriage and having children and being a mother. And in all honesty, that's not for everyone, okay? And I'm glad that Sabrina did say, like, you know, at the end of the day, if I don't have children, then it's not going to be the end of the world for me. But that was a really big thing for Stephen. So there was an awkward silence, I'll be honest with you, because Stephen said, you know, he's always imagined that he wanted to become a dad, and he's always wanted to have his own mini-me as well. So a very interesting silence over there, but we do know that they end up speaking about it later on. And we'll get into that when the time is right. So, oh, I love bubble tea so much, man, honestly. So let's move on to, why am I checking out like I don't know what order I ordered? Anyway, let's move on now to Jasmine. Jasmine said that she's been single for 3 years and her ex was expecting a baby with another girl. And when she said that, I just thought, men, do you know how disgusting that is? You're in a relationship and you end up stepping out and expect another child, another human being who is half of your DNA and half of someone else's DNA that's not mine. Huh? Nasty work, okay? Some men... Anyway, Jasmine and Sam were now having a conversation. Well, that's weird. I probably didn't write that down. Sorry guys, I didn't mention it. Sam and Jasmine already had a conversation yesterday and they were speaking about looks, and he was speaking about how he's an Instagram type of guy and things like that. Sorry, I just deeped that I actually didn't mention that. Now, back to Jasmine and Sam. So they were having another conversation and she mentioned obviously the comments that he had made regarding the Instagram yesterday, which was, you know, oh, some people may go on my Instagram and think that I'm an F1 and I'm just a one night stand type of, oh, I didn't invite on that type of case. Sam from London. Anyway, I know he was really trying to get sweet in that moment with Jasmine, but personally, I don't see the connection between Sam and Jasmine. I didn't see the connection anyway, so episode 2 kind of proved to me what I already knew in episode 1, technically. Now let's move on to Jasmine and Bobby. So of course, Jasmine asks about, you know, what he wants, and this was the first time we actually did see Jasmine and Bobby together, and instantly I was really just like, yeah, I see them working, and I see them working more than Sam and Jasmine. It wasn't making any sense. But of course, he was saying that, you know, he really loves his mum because she was a single mum who raised him. God bless our mothers, honestly, angels on earth. And she was saying, you know, her desire is to raise children in a healthy home. I think that was quite a good, healthy first conversation. And off the bat, I do prefer her and Bobby together over her and Sam. So that's that, or Sam from London. Now let's move on to Jasmine went to now go and speak with Priya briefly about it, and she pretty much said, yeah, that conversation with Bobby was great and she feels like Sam is a no-go. So she also picked up on quite a lot of the things that I'm sure you even picked up on as well. And that's the truth, is that I didn't really get the vibe or the connection that Jasmine and Sam, yeah, I definitely got more of a vibe between Jasmine and Bobby. Now let's move on to Nicole and Benaya having a conversation. So Nicole was saying that she's glad that she asked about his plans to settle and everything like that, and he was saying that at the end of the point, you know, he loves escapism, you know, he really loves to get out there. Benaya just gives me just like, I don't know, chilled vibes. He definitely gives me chilled vibes, okay? He mentioned that he had a rough childhood growing up, but, you know, he is at peace right now. And she was saying, you know, she really does appreciate him opening up and being very vulnerable. So yeah, like I said, I do prefer Nicole and Benaya together. I just don't see why Nicole seems to think that her and Sam are, I don't know, Bonnie and Clyde, because they ain't given for me, okay? Now let's move on to Sabrina. So Sabrina and Stephen, the next day, he was talking about the conversations in regards to him wanting to become a dad. And I was just like, oh my gosh, guys. Because I understand why that could be a big deal breaker for someone, especially someone who is so eager and so excited and really anticipates the time when they're going to have their own child and their mini-me and everything like that. So they now had a conversation about it again, about how, you know, yesterday was a bit of a, because it was a bit awkward. And of course, Sabrina was now saying, you know, at the end of the day, she's 35 now. By the time, if she even thinks about having children, she's not going to be 38 till probably 38, 39 in her 40s. And by then, as you guys know, statistics do show that it is sometimes harder for older women to conceive in the older ages, and that's why they do try and encourage people to have children quite young when your eggs are still active and working. But God is a God of miracles, okay? God is a God of miracles. She then went on to say that, you know, she's happy for surrogacy or possibly adoption, and I said, okay, Sabrina, because from yesterday the episode and the conversation implied that you just didn't want kids whatsoever, and that was going to be a big deal breaker. Sorry, I was about to say deal breaker. A big deal breaker between you and Sam, you and Steve, sorry. But I was just like, okay, Sabrina, so there's room for negotiations. All right, let's talk about it. Stephen now ended up bringing up the fact that, you know, with his upbringing and everything. Wait, what? She's probably gonna... Oh, yeah, sorry. She now ended up bringing up... Sabrina, sorry. Guys, you know, these reviews are so much different to... Love Island, so it's taken me a while, but don't worry, I will adjust, okay? I'll definitely adjust. So now Sabrina ended up speaking about her upbringing, story about her dad, and I won't lie, that story was insane. So in case you haven't watched it, Sabrina grew up with her dad. The dad ended up leaving. She found out from her mum later on that the dad that she thought was her dad wasn't actually her dad, who was messaging me, and that her dad was actually in Italy, but it was a lot. I won't lie, when she said the story, I was just like, okay, that is definitely a lot. And she said, you know, that's probably why she does keep her guard up around men. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't get that vibe with Stephen, and that's why I just felt like they worked, because I didn't get the vibe that she was ever trying to put her guard up with him. Let me know if you did get that vibe, but I feel like they got on really well, and they bounce off each other as well. And of course, Stephen used this opportunity to also open up at the fact that the reason why he's not with his ex, who he actually thought he was probably going to marry and settle down with, was because she actually was diagnosed with a tumor, and as the tumor and, you know, her health was progressively declining, she decided to end the relationship because she just felt like she needed to focus on herself and her health. And Stephen, of course, did have to respect that. So it was quite nice seeing quite a vulnerable moment between them, seeing how they also were able to comfort one another and console one another too. I felt like was really nice. And I just love Stephen and Sabrina, guys. I think they're really cute together, and I feel like they gel and they work together really well. Next, moving on briefly to Catherine and Freddie. They were having another conversation. Guys, what are the odds that our grandparents will have the exact same names? I think, was it Mary and Bill or Bob? I think Mary and Bill. I think that's the names. But what are the odds? Because I know nobody got my grandma's name. I know that for a fact. Now let's move on to Catherine and Ollie. So Catherine, I'll say from this conversation, it let me know that Catherine is very much giving, I think, sexual vibes when it comes to Ollie. In all honesty, I feel like her and Freddie seem to have more, not meaningful conversations, because they both have meaningful conversations, but I feel like when it comes to Ollie, it's more with her imagining, how does he look? Oh my gosh, should I, like, they'll just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a PJ date, like, should I wear this? Like, I can't explain it. You know what I mean. I know you know what I mean because you're here, but I know you definitely know what I mean. But obviously, Ollie and Demi now ended up having a conversation after, and of course, she was just asking him quite a few questions. You know, like, for example, if I'm snappy and I'm annoyed right now, you know, what exactly are you going to do to try and help me or make me feel better? And he was just like, you know, I rub your back, I buy you this, I do that, I kiss your forehead. And I just thought, like, the conversations that Ollie has with Demi are just a bit more edifying, if I'll be honest with you, a bit more thoughtful, a bit more concerning, a bit more deep, a bit more real. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I'm using all these adjectives. A bit more real. I definitely get more real vibes from Ollie and Demi's conversations than I do with Ollie and Catherine. Yeah. Or Kat, shall I say. she was saying that, you know, her heart is here, and he was saying he isn't 100% there just yet, and he's just being honest because he wants to give the other girl a chance. At this point, he's referencing Kat, but once again, I feel like Ollie and Demi work, and I'm glad he was open with her, but I also didn't want that to be a thing where Demi was like, oh, like, you know, I'm not good enough, or, oh, he seems to like another girl more than he likes me, and I feel like we have a really good connection and everything like that, because, you know, she needs to believe in her source, and her and Ollie, for me, they work. I think they work way better than Ollie and Kat. Now let's move on to Catherine. So Catherine, after the date, was asking for a debrief, and asked Demi, you know, do you have a connection with Ollie? And I'll be honest with you, like, I don't understand why she was so pressed and so concerned at the fact that Demi could have had a connect. Like, it was just a bit much like, obviously, yeah, like, if you do have a connection, I would just want you to tell me, because obviously, like, yeah, like, and Demi was just like, yeah, like, cool, like, you know, like, sure. And then Demi was also just like, you know, like, because me and Kat are friends, and I just thought, have they known each other outside of this pod? Are they friends, or is she just saying that because she's met someone nice? Girl, focus on your focus, okay? Love is blind for you, not for us. And what can I do to put other people before me? And she did say that in her confessionals as well. Like, you know, she naturally is a people pleaser, but now she needs to, I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius. Yeah. Demi, you gotta put yourself first, okay? Also, what was really weird after that was Catherine was now saying that she doesn't feel like her and Demi, Ollie and Demi, sorry, could have a relationship outside, that she just doesn't see it working. You can't even see it working, babe. This is Love is Blind. You don't even know what this guy looks like. And then she was just like, oh, my mouth is gonna get me in trouble. And I just thought, dare I say it, but do you think you're better than Demi? Kat, do you think you're better than Demi? Because what exactly is that comment? That comment didn't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, let's be so for real. Anyway, moving on to, I don't know, guys, I'm getting really weird vibes from Kat, and I don't know if that's implying something for the next couple episodes I'm about to catch up on today, but something fishy is going on. Okay, something fishy is going on. Now let's move on to Sabrina and Steven. So of course, Sabrina ended up meeting Steven again in the pods, and he left a note for her, and he said that he had written a poem for her. And that, guys, I love them so much that I actually wrote the poem. So here it goes. You stole my mind and my heart too. Can I say something crazy? In fact, let's do a bit more vim. Okay. You stole my mind and my heart too. Can I say something crazy? I love you. Can I take your hand as I take a knee and ask you something crazy? Will you marry me? I said, guys. And I instantly thought Sabrina was going to say, yes, I will. Guys, Sabrina was now looking around, shaking her. I said, here? Hey, I hear me. I said, pardon? Sabrina, why are you stuttering? Where is this hesitation coming from, babe? Because as far as I'm concerned, you two are the only two who even have the strongest connection so far since the episode has started. But the producers really ate with that cliffhanger, and I even just said next episode right now. So we're gonna get into it. But guys, honestly, that was a great first episode. I really did enjoy that. Let's quickly get into episode 2. I hope you still got your snacks. I hope you've got a lovely drink, and let's get into it. So, like I said, the suspense, the editors ate with that one. I said, oh my gosh, is she not going to say yes? Gasp. Anyway, she ended up saying that, you know, it has been a whirlwind of a journey, and this process is insane, but she's never had a doubt that it wasn't him. And then she said yes. And then she apologized because Steven has been on his knee just waiting. What's this girl going to say? And she said, oh, sorry, I should have started off with the yes first before I gave my speech. But I just felt like because of this scenario and also this experiment, she just felt like she needed to say what she needed to say. And I said, Sabrina, God bless. Okay? Because I didn't want to hear anything else other than a yes, but I absolutely do love them together. And I was really excited to see how they would also see each other when the actual reunion was going to take place, and they were able to see what each other looked like. So guys, they ended up showing Shirley. You guys know Shirley is the 27-year-old doctor. I believe she's 27, the junior doctor. Guys, I was even just like, oh my gosh, she's still here. And that's one thing I don't really always love about Love is Blind. I know some connections work and some don't, but they really just be showing us the same couples on rotation, and then those couples just become the main characters for the show. Do you know what I mean? But I said, Shirley, you're still here? I didn't know you're still here. Hello. Let's move on to Maria and Tom. Guys, I love Maria. She's absolutely stunning. She is from Morocco, and I believe I think she's Muslim and Moroccan. I think she's 30. She's Moroccan, sorry, I said she's Morocco. She's Moroccan, and I believe she's 30. And Tom, I actually do really like Tom, you know. I feel like he Yeah, he just gives like older Oyinbo guy vibes. I don't know. Do you get that vibe? I don't get that vibe from him. Anyway, they were speaking about their experiences growing up and also his traumas. And, you know, even when he was speaking about the story with his dad, like, honestly, he had a relationship with his dad and then one day his dad just on a runner. I just thought men really have the audacity because it definitely takes two to tangle, you know. It definitely, I'm tired. What's the time? It's only 11:07. Why am I so tired? Anyway, it definitely takes two to tango. So why on earth are you deciding that you no longer want to tango and you think you're just allowed to just up and leave? Like, men, sickening. Some of you anyway, not all, but some of you, sickening. Okay, are you not ashamed? You should be ashamed. Now let's move on to Natasha and Tom. I feel like he has a stronger vibe with Maria, you know. Ooh, am I getting that vibe? I feel like he possibly does like Tasha's voice. Now let's move on to Freddie and Kat. Freddie was saying that, you know, you remember you guys, they already have bonded over the fact that both their mum and dads, both their grandmas and granddads have the same name, Mary and Bill. But Freddie was like, oh, you know, the other year he went to a medium, which is basically a witch, okay? And that they told him that the person he's going to marry, her name begins with C. I don't know if he said that for the sake of it, if that was a joke or if he was actually being very serious. But of course, they opened up about their families, and she actually did mention the fact that she is adopted, or she was adopted, shall I say. And, you know, that really had a really big impact on her. Sorry guys, I'm really hot. I feel like I look like I'm sweating. I'm sorry. But that had a really big impact on her upbringing, her identity, and how she also identifies with herself right now. So it was nice for her once again to open up, I guess. Not I guess per se, but it's nice to see the developments of these people in the pods and how comfortable they feel being vulnerable about their upbringing, and challenges and traumas and emotional baggage that they feel like they may have as well, to get to know one another even deeper. Now let's move on to Kat and Ollie. He asked her where she goes when she's in London, and she said, did you say Cirque? I think it's called Cirque. Guys, I was born and raised in London. I don't live there anymore, but I was born and raised in London. I don't even know what Cirque is. But Ollie was saying, you know, he was trying to really get into, you know, just get to know her a bit more, because he was just like, oh, Cirque, yeah, that's a, yeah, I go there. He was just like, oh, you're one of them girls. I just thought Cirque. I never heard of no Cirque. Where is that? Okay. Ivy Asia I've been to, but Cirque, I do not know where or what that is. But anyway, of course, he was saying that he really wants to get to know her on a deeper level, because he feels like right now off the surface it's definitely given lustful. And he said that he wouldn't be bothered if she was also exploring other people too. I don't feel like Kat took that well, because we know instantly when she came back, she went to go and speak to the girls and she was crying over it, like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, he asked me where I go to when I'm in London, and I was like, I go to Cirque, and I just don't like, yeah, I just don't know, like, he was just like, oh, you're just one of those girls. And I just felt like, how can I say this? Dig deeper. Do you know what I mean? Clearly it couldn't be the fact that you go to certain clubs. Like, he already knows you're not, you don't even go to London like that. So when you're in London, you've only been Cirque once because it was, I believe, your birthday and you went to Ivy Asia. He's trying to understand you deeper as a person, but also number two, he thinks things right now are quite surface level. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like in that situation, it wasn't necessarily about where she had been. It was just the fact that he's just asking general and basic questions, and he just wants to know if there is a deeper connection there. So it was very interesting to see the first thing that she said when she ran to the girls. Anyway, moving on to Sabrina and Steve meeting. I said, Sabrina, okay, black dress. And she was showing the back, the lip, the hair. I said, guys, I love them so much. And then Steve, guys, I love them so much. I like them too much. They're just too cute. They're too cute. Anyway, they ended up meeting and he was like, hello, beautiful. And what was so funny as well was Sabrina expected him to be bold. And I don't actually know why she expected him to be bold. But anyway, they did have a really cute meet up, and it was just nice for them to finally meet outside of the pods. I feel like they click. I feel like they work. I feel like they look good together. I feel like they suit. When I think of someone like Sabrina, I think I expect her to be with someone like Steven. So it is really nice that, you know, even 2 episodes in, this is the connection that the Love is Blind producers have been able to make work, and I absolutely love that for them. Now, moving on to Jasmine and Sam speaking, he was there pouring out his heart, like, you know, oh yeah, obviously I feel like things are going really well, yeah, you know, yeah, and she was just like, okay, well, and I was there just like, okay, well, I'll be honest with you, I just kind of feel like you're just saying a lot of the right things right now. And he was just like, oh, so am I just supposed to be single forever? Like, and I just thought, even there, just like, where is your emotional maturity? Like, yes, you're pouring out your heart and I'm telling you something, but respond in a normal manner. Why are you telling me, I'm just going to be single? What is it? Am I just going to stay single then? Like, babe, not everyone that comes on Love is Blind UK ends up marrying, and that is okay. Okay, that is okay. Now moving on to Natasha and Tom having a conversation. Not much to discuss other than the fact that they were developing the conversation from the night before, but she did mention to us in the one-to-ones that she actually lost 5 stone, so kudos to her. Okay, kudos to her. Moving on to Jasmine and Bobby speaking about his personal life and being vulnerable. Jasmine and Bobby were speaking about their personal life, and she decided from that conversation that she was definitely going to close things off with Sam. I'm glad that she did decide that, but she just felt like after the conversation, just that, yeah, like, you know, she's kind of made up her mind, and it's not even a discussion that is going to be between Sam and Bobby. Like, I feel like me and Bobby are better suited, so that is my decision. And I'm glad that she made that decision because it was necessary. Okay, it was definitely necessary. Now they of course now end up having a conversation, and Jasmine obviously said that she feels like there's a stronger connection story with Bobby, and instantly Sam just gave me red flag vibes. Like, he was just like he's huffing and puffing on the chair. He leaves this pod, he throws his drinks, he goes back to the room with the boys, his shirt is on his shoulder, he's lying on the floor holding his head. Like, guys, that guy is a red flag. I did not get good vibes from that guy. I'm so sorry. I did not get good vibes. Like, that, for me, that was an overreaction. I'm sorry. And then what I didn't like after that, he was just like, oh, you know, obviously I'm still speaking with Nicole, and I just feel like this is a sign that, you know, Nicole's actually the one for me. Boy, you woke up that morning with your intention of wanting to continue to get to know Jasmine, and now all of a sudden fate has decided who do like. Guys, Sam gives me really awkward vibes. I'm going to keep standing on that, possibly till the end of the season if he's still there, because I don't know if he ends up marrying. I don't know until tonight when I catch up on the episode. But he just gives me really weird vibes, and I'm just not here for him. I'm sorry, I'm really not. Let's move on to Demi now making Ollie a birthday cake, because Ollie turned 30. Not birthday cake, birthday card, because we know that Ollie turned 33, aka Mr. Craig David. I don't know why I just done that, but anyway, I think that was an extremely cute gesture. Like, you know, Kat would never. Okay, Kat would never. But she was there making her card. She was asking the girls like, oh my gosh, are you good at art? Could you help me do this? She organised the balloons. There was a cake there. There was the card. There was like, I think there was a crystal of love there. I think she gave him a gift like that as well. But it was just so thoughtful, and I just love that for them, honestly. Kat was then saying when she did see how much effort that Demi had put into the whole Ollie situation, she was just like, you know, I'm just going to step away from the situation because my heart is saying Freddie. And yeah, I just feel like, you know, she's my friend. And I feel like if she didn't see Demi put as much effort as she did into the whole Ollie situation, even whether it was with the card, the birthday, the efforts and everything, she would have continued to go for him. Like, you saying that your heart is now with, I don't know, maybe because she just feels like the competition that she thought she was winning, she can no longer win, because Demi is doing things that don't even cross her mind. Okay, but it was really cute when Ollie and Demi did of course speak, and you know, he read the card out, and yeah, it was just really cute, and he was honestly just overwhelmed. And he also said as well, you know, where he was in 2 minds regarding the situation, he's finally made up his mind because he feels like Demi is definitely the one for him. So I really like them together, okay? I really do. Now moving on to Ollie and Kat having a conversation. Of course, she ended up deading it, saying that, you know, I'm going to be the bigger person and that she's going to explore things elsewhere. But yeah, that's just that. I'm glad she locked it off, I guess, but I don't know, she gives me such weird vibes, I can't explain it. And I just feel like that comment that she made about Demi in episode 1, for me, was just a bit weird. It was just a bit weird. Now let's move on to Nicole and Benaya having a conversation, and he said that he feels like they have a really good connection. He doesn't feel like he's sure about getting engaged. I really did love when Nicole was like, okay, but that's not ideal. This guy is telling you he's not ready for the next stage with you, and your first response is, okay, I understand what you're saying, but that's just not ideal, is it? It's just not ideal. But honestly, it's not. It's really not ideal. And I feel like the second Benaya said that, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, no, because I definitely knew that Nicole was definitely going to pursue things more with Sam. But it definitely wasn't ideal. I'll be honest with you. It 100% wasn't ideal. But I feel like from this episode anyway, I felt like Benaya's really sweet, but maybe because, you know, you guys know Benaya hasn't been in a relationship since, I think, 11 years. So this year will make it 12 years. I hope he's not self-sabotaging because he's worried. You know, some people do that. When things are so good, they self-sabotage because they don't feel like they deserve it. I hope that's not what Benaya is doing, but we'll get into them later on. Anyway, back to Bobby and Jasmine. So, guys, I was definitely laughing because this is when someone already showed me a video of Bobby rapping, right? And I don't feel like his rapping is that bad, guys. I'm not even trolling. I actually don't feel like his rapping is that bad. But he started rapping to Jasmine, and I just didn't understand where the accent came from. He was just like, yeah, because I'm a king and I need a queen. Didn't it? I just thought, all right, Bobby. All right then, what you got up your sleeve, babes? But honestly, I was definitely laughing. But, you know, he was saying that, you know, being with her just feels incredible. And, you know, he ended up proposing. Of course, Jasmine was crying because she said that, you know, sometimes when you've experienced so much, you just don't know if you deserve the type of love that you're being given. And I love that. I feel like people deserve to be loved the way that they want to be loved. And where she's had such a traumatic experience in the past of her relationships, I understand why and when and how she would feel that way. But, yeah, they ended up proposing, and honestly, I prefer Jasmine with Bobby than Jasmine with Sam. So I said, congratulations, guys. When's the wedding? Now moving on to Bobby now, of course, going to go tell the guys. And Sam from London was just like really bitter. He was just like, you know, at the end of the day, like, yeah, like, that's Jasmine's lost anyway. I just thought, oh, what a bitter Betty. Like, he was just there screaming. Instead of you to get out and go and congratulate someone so that that can be you next, even if it was Nicole or someone else, so that it can be you. Instead, you're sitting on that sofa, smelling your nose and smelling your lips. Like, come on, bro, come on, babes, come off it, all right. Now moving on to Nicole and Sam. So he ended up giving Nicole a bracelet and some flowers. Now, I find that quite interesting because I know we only see a bit of the conversations in the pods. I don't see the progression. So when he handed her the bracelet and was like, you did the bracelet, yeah, I want you to wear it every time you wear it, I want you to think about me, yeah, the flowers are this. I just felt like he was overcompensating for the fact that he lost out with Jasmine, and because of that he was really trying to ensure that this works, because there were two connections that I had here and now I've only got one, so I need to make sure that this one makes a lot of sense. But yeah, once again, I don't know, I feel like Sam low-key gives me superficial vibes. Yeah, he gives me superficial vibes. And the reason why he gives me superficial vibes as well is because, of course, she was just like, oh my god, this is so sweet. And he was just like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hug you. I can't wait to kiss you. I can't wait to do this. And then she was just like, yeah, that's if you can pick me up. And then she laughed because obviously it was a joke. We can clearly see that Sam is capable of picking Nicole up. And instantly he was just like, what do you mean by that? And she was just like, oh, LOL, you know, we're not really supposed to discuss, like, we're not supposed to discuss any of our appearances or physical attributes and blah, blah, blah. And then he now went over to speak to the guys about it, and he was just like, yeah, like, yeah, it was good, but she made a really weird comment about, like, oh, if I'm able to pick her up, like, why would she say that? Like, what does she mean by that? You're on Love is Blind. So even if she was bigger than you expected, you are on Love is Blind. Like, that for me just confirmed to me this Sam guy is very somehow, and we should all just be shrugging our shoulders when he speaks, because that for me was just like, okay, so what if she was bigger than you? Okay, so what? Does that change the connection that you had with her? Which lets me know you're playing a game. You're playing a game, and the genuine question that I have is, are you here legitimately? Are you here for a gain? Are you here to please yourself? Why are you here? Is it genuine? Okay. But I ended up having a conversation with Steven about how he really wants to protect Nicole, and he feels like with the conversations that some people have had in the pods and everything like that, you know, conversations have been going around that Sam isn't actually here for genuine reasons. And, you know, I did love the fact that he did say he wanted to protect her. You know, of course he doesn't want to get her hurt. And that just made me wonder, is he self-sabotaging? Because I can clearly tell that he really likes Nicole, but is he self-sabotaging his relationship with her? Because if he didn't care, he would have never felt the need to feel like he needs to protect her from this troll, because that's exactly Phineas, that's what I'm going to call him. Nicole and Banana end up having a conversation. He gave her some flowers and also some wine, and she was like, you know, they do have a really good conversation and everything, but just because of the comment that he made where he doesn't feel like he's ready to propose to her moving forward, you know, that's just pretty much put a spanner in the works, and she doesn't really know how this is going to work. Anyway, he said, you know, he wants to be really real with her, and, you know, he doesn't want to sabotage the situation, but he just wants to have a conversation to pretty much let her know that something is off with Sam. Now, this bit, I can tell he was so nervous because he was just like, I don't know how to say it. And she was just like, you're going to need to, you know, Nicole's speech, you're going to need to tell me, Benaya, can you just come out with it, please? And he was just like, obviously, yeah, okay, cool, I guess so. Yeah, there have been some conversations going around that, you know, Sam isn't here for genuine reasons. And then she was just like, and even me, I was just like, and then that was the end of episode 2. And guys, I won't lie, that was those 2 episodes were very strong. I really enjoyed those 2 episodes. Off the bat, I think you can already know who I am for and who I am against. But I'm really enjoying this, and I'm quickly going to edit this video. If I don't upload it tonight, I'm going to upload it tomorrow afternoon, and tonight, just now, I'm about to go catch up on episode 3, 4 and 5, and tomorrow after work, I'm going to get that review out, and then work on my schedule until I'm all caught up by Friday. But honestly speaking, I think Love is Blind UK is kicking off. I'm loving the characters, like I said in the beginning. I'm loving the fact that we have very mature characters as well, and it's just a relief. Maybe because I've been reviewing Love Island for so long, I haven't seen serious adult conversations from real adults and real people like this, so it is actually quite refreshing to just have normal conversations, and I think the casting for this season has been absolutely amazing. But yeah guys, let me know down below, let me know your thoughts. I hope you're enjoying these reviews. Like I said, I've never reviewed Love is Blind fully before, so this is new, so I hope I hope it's okay. But let me know your thoughts down below, how you're finding the season and everything and above. I'm going to catch up on episode 3, 4 and 5 now. 6, 7, 8 when I get back from work, 9, 10, 11 for Friday's upload, and then I'll be all caught up by the end of the week, which I think works. Yeah, rather than a video every single day and just prolonging it, let me just do a binge watch and then do a review from there. But let me know down below how you also found this review, the season, all of that good stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family, and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahTheSlingX. But other than that, please do take care, stay blessed guys, I love you loads, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.